Well, my name is Joan Tussell. I am the head of media relations of Casa Africa, which is a public diplomacy institution that belongs to the Foreign Office of Spain. And we organize public diplomacy activities. One of them is the training of journalists in Africa, in always focused on the disinformation issue. We thought a few years ago that this was going to be very, very important, and we decided to prepare a program where we could go to African countries and train African journalists in the basics of fact checking and to be able to detect and debunk disinformation, which we think is very, very important, not only in Africa, but everywhere. In Spain, we also have this reality. So we thought it could be helpful because also in Spain, there are some media which have become really famous, I would say, worldwide for their use of technology and new methods to do fact checking. So we took advantage of that, and we thought that these experiences and this know-how of Spanish media in fact checking could be helpful for our for our journalist friends.
My name is Hadiza Abdraman and I work with the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria. I must say the training has been very, very resourceful considering the time we find ourselves. The issue of disinformation is not just an African thing. It cuts across countries, regions, and it's a threat to democracy. And as journalists, it is our social responsibility to continue to equip ourselves. So capacity building is very, very important to us. So we are grateful to the organizers of this program for giving us the privilege to learn certain tools that we can use to debunk some of this information.
My name is Lisa Gwamji. I'm with African Prime News, an online news platform. And it's a privilege being on this platform again for the purpose of fact-checking. I have done fact-checking, but let me put it this way, that I have done it at an elementary level. Now, with the added knowledge and skill from this particular training, I intend to embark on more ambitious projects because you cannot undermine the need for fact-checking when you live in a society like Nigeria that is highly polarized by ethnicity, religious bigotry, and we have people who are vulnerable and gullible that have been manipulated by AI tools. Of course, AI has its downsides and it has its strengths, but mostly it has been used to cause disaffection amongst humans. And so, going forward, I have also been equipped with the necessary skills, to debunk, debase, and verify some of this information, and in some cases, confirm how substantive this information is, to put out there so that we reduce the level of disaffection, the level of confusion, the level of manipulation out there, via fact check.
So the focus of the training is to sort of expose journalists to the practice of verification in fact check, and to also expose them to some of the strategies and some of the methodology that we use in verifying images, videos, and the social media entirely to debunk false information.
So, yes, Kabiru, you were a participant in this. What really, before you came in, what was your thinking? Now that you have come in, what indeed are you taking away? What's your takeaway? What's your benefit in this training?
Okay, absolutely. I cannot begin to mention the benefits of this training. Somebody like me who is very, very interested in fact checking, it's an eye opener, and especially the technical aspects of it that I got to learn. The methodologies, new ways of fact checking, and but not just new ways of fact checking, but new ways of fact checking using AI and other advanced technology to fact check. This is going to make my work very, very easy. Something that ordinarily I used to spend hours or days working on. I believe I can be able to do it in just a matter of minutes or hours So it's a very, very good one.
Yes. So, as a trainer, what really should a Nigerian public look out for? Especially, how do they identify fake news?
I think when we talk about it in broad terms and we say, oh, how can you identify fake news? It's more broader because fake news has lots of categories, images, photos, we've been talking about it. So when we talk about that, it's broader than it looks because there is images, there is videos, there is. So the question now goes, how do you verify false images? How do you verify false videos? One of the things I usually say, and I will say it here, is to look for the inconsistency. If you pay close attention, the details will jump out of the picture. There is always something that will tell you that this picture or this video or this content is false. Look out for it.
Now, fake news has always been a thing of concern.
Yeah.
At the point targeted at government, at the point targeted at the religious, at the point just anybody at all. Why do you feel that some people feel that fake news should just be their stock in trade?
Because people will always want to perpetuate something for their self-interest. In politics, people want to win elections. In economy, people want to gain profit. In society, people want to gain popularity. So there is always something to gain, and it's unfortunate that fake news is the culprit for that. It's a political economy, and fake news is the currency. That's it.
Yes. So, Kabiru, what should the ordinary Nigerian be looking out for? Especially the gullible ones who indeed always believe any image.
Okay, that's a good one. What ordinary Nigerians should start looking for is to look out for fact-checking organizations. When you look out for organizations like Ribawa, like Premium Times and other media organizations, now journalists are getting aware. Like Cave One, so many other platforms are doing fact-checking. So what you should always look out for is that picture you are seeing or messages you are receiving. Always try to authenticate how and authenticating these images and news. It means you have to go extra mile. You have to look for who are the sources of the information. You have to look for what was the topic all about. Who, if it's a statement, who is signing this statement. If it's a news platform, like some of these basic things, you have to look out for them, and you don't just look like Silas and others. I feel like it's a challenge on them to do more on what we call media literacy. People need to be aware of how to go about these things, because somebody who is just on social media will not be aware of how can I go to authenticate or to fact check whether this thing is true or not, because but people like Silas and those like even me and you who are now in the business of media literacy and verification, we can all enlighten people on what is false and what is not false.
Finally, Silas, if you were to do a summary, a recap of what took place, what would that be?
One, AI is taking over. Technology is the future. And people need to be aware that misinformation can come in the guise of technology, AI. And also, journalists should not avoid technology and AI, but it's important that journalists should embrace it as a part of them, not to demonize it.